much for your time. Thank you. Annette Hamblett. Kia ora and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to our submission. I'm solo today as Michael's not able to be here. We put quite a lot of time into the submission. There's a lot more detail on that. This is just, stressing the main points. First of all, great to see the case for climate change stated so strongly in the draft strategy, but it's not urgent enough and bold enough, and that's not news to you from what were in the submissions. There is great urgency to act because we don't have much time to reduce our emissions. So we want to see our council act with urgency and take people along with it. We want you to be a bold leader, set a vision, educate the public and prioritise where it most counts. The strategy needs a vision people can understand and relate to get a feel for what the city will be like when we've made the required changes. And I take the point from Daniel previously saying we don't know exactly what it's going to be like, but we can give some ideas, I think. And graphics and animations might be a good way to show some of the ways we might go. The council needs to lead boldly like the central government did to address the threat of COVID. It's equally much of a crisis. Get serious on education. We need public education campaigns in as many forms as possible so people really get that we all need to change the way we do things. Use all available channels, including the council website, school programs, billboards, rates notices, backs of buses. Use the strategy to set ambitious targets based on up-to-date science. Follow with concrete actions that add up to meet these targets. Make it clear what the steps are to meet the targets and include interim goals. Take climate change into account across all council decisions. Require council controlled companies to explicitly take climate change into account in their investment decisions and to meet the council's 2030 net carbon neutrality target for operations. Prioritise reducing emissions, especially transport emissions, as these are the source of most of them. Set interim 3-yearly emission reductions goals for the city and report back on them. Track and publish the council's own emissions reductions. A logical and convenient public transport system is a must, so is enabling and encouraging people to use active transport as much as possible and discouraging private vehicle use. Encourage e-bike use. Christchurch is made for it. Work with ECAN to provide more regular buses and more efficient routes to avoid the long, circuitous trips sometimes required to get across the city. Enable and encourage commuters from outlying areas to leave cars outside the inner city. Send a proposal to Cabinet to bring in a regional fuel tax to help fund transformation to low-emission transport. Encourage and support suburbs to transition to 15-minute villages. Let us see how we're doing as a city. Provide ways for residents to regularly and easily monitor the council's progress and success in achieving targets and those of council-controlled companies. Use the knowledge that's out there. Make use of the expertise of Christchurch's transition engineer, Professor Susan Crumdick, Canterbury University, to guide the way we transition the city, to reduce energy use and to build up climate change resilience. We are in a climate and an ecological crisis. We must take both these crises into account in all our actions as a city. Thank you.
Look, thank you very much. And as you said, there's a lot more detail sitting on your actual submission itself. So thank you, and pass on thanks to Michael as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.